So everybody, welcome to another edition of our Dry Time video calls, and I'm very happy to welcome Hen Sharpe to the show. Hen, how you doing, my friend?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, not well. Yeah, keeping going. I'm stuck in the loft here, but yeah, I'm on the go.
I know, funny times.
It is. So, Hen, I obviously know what you do in motorsport, but not everybody else does. So, my question to you, Hen Sharpe, how are you involved in motorsport?
Well, I race in the MG Owners Club. Been racing in that since I was 20 years old.
Wow.
And we've gone off and done various other things with Porsches and things like that. But it's primarily MGs close to our heart, and we've got a few MGs that we race.
Oh, wow, that is superb. So how long have you been involved in that then?
Well, since I was 20 years old, so I'm 37 now, so 17 years now.
So what's
And it was quite funny because the very first race number I had was 21, so I actually had a race number greater than my age, which was quite good.
So tell me, Hen, what's the appeal then of the MGs? Talk me through it. Now, I get it because we're involved at the MG this season, but what's it mean to you?
Yeah. I think it was because when we all sat down, me and my dad and my brother, and we said, right, let's do some racing. And we hadn't done any karting, not really done anything like that. So it was just primarily, you're always into driving. Dad used to race in the in an Austin A35 in the classic touring cars.
Yeah.
So we've always been around racetracks in that kind of side of stuff. He was racing against Peter St. Barb and all those kind of people that are all hanging around still now. Barry Williams, all those kind of people. And so we were always around the racetracks, and we completely missed out the karting side and went straight to cars. And we sat down and we said, right, what should we race? And it was a toss-up between the Jaguar Enthusiast Club at the time, or the MGs. And we went for the MGs.
Well, I can't say I blame you. I can't say. I mean, I love both. I love my Jags as well. I've got to be honest. Especially the old XJ. Is it the XJS? Yeah, that's a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So Hen, you've obviously, like you say, you've been racing for a reasonable amount of time. So where's your favourite place to go racing? What's your favourite track?
Do you know what? We're Leicestershire, so we're Mallory Park. Some people look at Mallory and think, you know what? It's just an oval with a little bit of a hairpin. I absolutely love it to pieces, and it's probably one of the only tracks I can happily go round and get consecutive times within like a tenth of a second each lap, because we know it so much, and even just it's just the memories it holds, really. Going back there when we were I was growing up 5-6 years old watching Dad, and it's just a gorgeous track, and it went through a funny time a few years back, if you remember all that hoo-ha about noise levels and how much they can race and things like that. But you go back there now, and it's just a real special feeling about going back to Mallory. And not a funny story particularly, but a funny one where Dad's concerned is in Dad's actual will, and it is actually written in there because I've seen it, is he wants to be driven around Mallory in a Morris Minor Traveller with his coffin hanging out the back, and do 3 laps of it and then go and get buried.
Wow.
And it's actually in his will.
That is superb. Will the track allow you to do that? Surely they will, won't they? They will.
I hope so. If not, we'll do it anyway.
I'm going to let you in a little secret here, Hen. I was due to go to Mallory this year with a couple of race series, but I've never been before. I still haven't been yet.
Really?
I've never been to Mallory. I've been pretty much everywhere else. I've never been to Knockhill. I've never been to Mallory. And believe it or not, again, I was due to go to Castle Combe a few times this season. Still plan on going. Castle Combe as well. Which is crazy, really.
Well, the best thing about Mallory is you go up to get over the track, and if you don't drive in through the circuit, you walk over the big bridge where the Jordan Road surfacing is, and you stand there, and when all the cars go underneath, all the signs rickety like that, and you think, shit.
That'll make for some good footage. All right, then here's a question for you. Then you and me are at Mallory Park. It's my first visit there, and there's an empty garage, and I say to you, right, Hen, I can make any car appear in that garage. It could be old, it could be new, it could be a racing car, it could be a road car, whatever. You've got 10 laps around Mallory. What are you taking out for a spin?
Rover SD1.
Really? Okay. Somebody else has said a Rover as well. You're not the first person to say that, actually.
Stripped out Rover SD1 in the Triple X colours, if you remember them. from the old touring car days.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love to fly around in one of them.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic. So in your racing career to date, have you had any particularly embarrassing moments you'd care to share with us that we can all have a little bit of a giggle at, Hen, at your expense?
I've had quite a few over 17 years, but the one that really stands out is we were racing at Croy in France. One of the first years we were racing MGs, and you got a paddock full of all loads of touring car kind of teams and things like that. And I saw a sign on the way to the track, and it said "Stripper on tonight." Big sign up in a bar. So I went back to the paddock, and we went to go and get some beers and stuff and some food. Went back to the paddock and said, "Guys, look," and Rob Birdie was there, all these big kind of drivers of the time. I said, "Look, there's a stripper on at the pub, 8 o'clock. And everybody's like, "Wow, okay, we're going to go down. We're all going to go down." No word of a lie, there must have been half the paddock turned up at this bloody pub, sitting there, all sitting down, all standing up because there wasn't enough seats. The people who were in the bar couldn't believe how many people had turned up. Next thing, 8 o'clock comes, DJ Stripper arrives, and it's a DJ called Stripper. So I'm sitting there, and everybody looks at me, and during those moments, you want the world to swallow you up, the ground. And they looked at me, "Oh God, let's go back to the track then."
I bet you haven't been able to live that down yet, have you?
Oh God, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing.
And guess what, Hen? For anybody who'd forgotten that story and was there, you've just reminded them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly that.
So look, Hen, I'll let you go in a minute, but I've got a couple more questions just before we do go. Obviously, you've had a great racing career today. Is there anybody you want to say in particular, give a shout out to, any sponsors, any family members who've really helped you, or just anybody really?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I know you had Chris on from Absolute Alignment the other day, and he obviously sponsors my little boy now. So we've got the next generation coming along. Really, from my side of stuff, we've been really, really lucky in racing for 17 years and sponsored for 15 of them. So it's my lots of lovely companies, and a lot of them are still on board with me today. So as much as I've took a slight back seat in my racing at the minute, and obviously due to the world of the way it is anyway, we're not doing anything. Within 10 minutes of me being on the phone to them, they'll get me a car and I can be out on track. So it's a great position to be in. And I just want to say thanks to everybody who's ever been involved with Sharpe Team Racing, with us, and my brother, really.
Let's just talk about your son then, because he's going racing, isn't he?
He is, yeah, he is. Exciting times.
I've seen it all over Facebook. Do you want to give him a quick plug, a quick shout out?
Yeah, well, it's Chase Sharpe. He's 9 years old currently, 10 years old in February. And the reason why we went to Autograss is because when you've been around motorsport as long as we have, you get to know who you can trust and the advice you are given. And it was always on the cards that you go to Autograss to try and get. It's a great promoter of car control.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And they pulled a blind at the beginning of this year. Because they reduced the age to 10 years old. Now, it did used to be 12, so automatically we were given 2 years extra to do it. So we thought, right, let's leave the kart in, let's go straight into that. And he's been testing that since July last year.
Yeah.
And it's so close now. And as much as there's no motorsport in the world at the minute, it's given us more time to prepare, more time to test. So next year we should be on the same kind of level as everybody else, which is great, really.
Fantastic, excellent. We'll certainly keep an eye out for that. And finally, and very, very important, probably the most important question you'll get asked this year: if you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be and why?
I'd be a Viennese whirl because it's got two lovely bits of biscuit and it's a lovely, smooth, loving bit of chocolate inside.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
You're the only person who said that so far. Fantastic. Hen Sharpe, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. Stay safe and I'll see you trackside soon.
Yeah, thanks, Ian, and thanks for what you're doing, mate. It's really, really good.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. All right.